my name is Kyle Funny. Kyle Funny Faulkner. I'm from the South Side, Chicago suburbs.
Bernie Akile, originally from Merced, California. Grew up in Surrey, Pennsylvania.
My name is Ennis Martin. I'm Chicago born and raised. I'm an illustrator and a painter. Used to be a graffiti writer, dancer. When I work here, Brooklyn Industries Clothing Store.
My name is Jill Gretter. I'm originally from Plymouth, Indiana.
Frank Workman, I'm from Vermillion, Ohio.
My name is Elizabeth Marshall and I'm from Santa Cruz, born California, but obviously I've lived in England my whole life.
My name is John Stifler and I'm from Rockton, Illinois.
Ravioli.
Ravioli.
Oh yeah, Chef Boyardee. Yeah, that reminds me of my childhood. I love it.
Do you have it all the time?
Had it all the time, still has it all the time. You know, I have to keep a can of ravioli in my house. My little cousins come over, if it's a lazy Saturday, I'll definitely crack them.
The trees, nature, and also Murray's hair grease. Explain how my father used to use it in his hair. So I mean, it's just something else. Nature. I mean, because I grew up in nature. I mean, I spent a lot of time outside, whether it's playing sports or taking hikes. My mom is very into nature. My grandfather was a gardener, farmer. So it's anything I have to do with nature that needs to be done.
I'm an illustrator, through science fiction and fantasy illustration, so I'm always looking for moments of childhood. So I watch a lot of cartoons. I watch Adventure Time. About recently was on YouTube, and I looked up an old footage of Sesame Street, and I watched Swedish Chef. And I haven't seen like a Swedish Chef from like the Muppets, and it really
Hit home.
it hit home. It was a good moment for me. Like, this is great. I got my spaghetti and I'm watching Swedish Chef. It's gonna start throwing things, you know. Bork, bork, bork.
Anything outdoors. So I grew up in a really, really small town, and so we had lots of backyard and green, and I grew up outdoors. So I feel like anything like fresh cut grass and flowers and fresh air. Absolutely.
Pumpkins.
Why pumpkins?
Pumpkins. Well, being from Northern Ohio, there's. Get him out here. being from Northern Ohio, you know, you get like the season changes and stuff like that. And some of my favorite time when I was a kid growing up was Halloween. There was like a haunted schoolhouse down the street from my house that I worked at when I was a kid. And that was like some of my favorite times as a kid.
Probably my nan's baking. In England we absolutely love to bake, and she used to, every Sunday morning she used to make a Victoria sandwich, which is a sponge cake. And so I always remember my nan making sponge cakes in the kitchen and me being upstairs and smelling.
Fresh cut grass, I think, would be a good one. I spent a lot of, I'm from a very small town, so I spent a lot of time outside. And that grass being cut reminds me of summer, which reminds me of being outside when I was a kid. So I think that's probably mine.
Being in the Silver Room, it's a huge community. I meet so many people from all over the world every day. I just meet new people and from different cultures, different states, different countries. That's something that I love. I really enjoy that. I enjoy that interaction, you know, and that's something that I wanted to be a part of my life, traveling. So that's what makes me happy. That's what makes me smile on a daily basis.
I was out back trying to absorb a little bit of nature that we have down here. And I actually came across a little black swan. I'd never seen a black swan before, so that was fun.
I went to my brother's house for Easter, and my niece, who I haven't seen in a while, she's 2 years old, and she's been wanting to paint with her uncle for a long time. So we hung out and painted on her little easel. And it was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was a good time. That made me smile pretty hard.
My friend Terrence is back in the office.
I had seen Terrence in a while, and then he's a big eater, and he's terrible. So he does the competitive food competitions you can see on Man vs. Food, and so he showed me this one that he had done recently, which was just like this crazy huge, you know, it was the burger from Ohio.
Oh, my mum sent me a text because she's gone to Paris for the day, and she put bonjour Lizzie, how am I? So that made me smile.
My friends making jokes, eating lunch, made me smile today.
My mother, just because of all the hardships that she went through, just having me when she was really young, and she persevered through all of that. I mean, any trial or tribulation, she always wore a smile on her face, and so it was uplifting.
I would say my parents are really, really inspiring to me. They both have incredibly, incredibly positive attitudes. They're both very, very intelligent, very happy people. They have a wonderful marriage. I'm a big fan.
Ron, I've worked with Ron for quite a while. We worked together at Amazon, we worked together we did some pilots together for eBay. So there's some things I think that I have like professionally that I have certain strengths. And I think the things that I don't have as strengths, Ron does. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of look up to him, because I think there's a lot of stuff that he can teach me. Because like kind of identified that. Like he's got a very strong financial background. It's like the financial reporting that he puts together, I think, is like really impressive. So that's one of the things that like.
My husband, because about, I think it was 18 months ago now, he was very seriously ill, and he went from being really fit and healthy to being paralysed overnight in intensive care, and he had to learn to walk again. And this summer he actually took part in the triathlon in Chicago.
Aww.
So he inspired me.
Oh, that's amazing.
My parents inspire me. They lead by example, and have provided me a very logical and clear path to follow in life. So I would say that.
The bus driver last night stopping for me to cross the street. Usually they just, if you're not at the bus stop, they just go off. But that was a huge act of kindness because I didn't have to wait the 20 minutes in the cold. So that was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
That's what I need from public transportation in Chicago. Seriously, I need some patience.
I saw a young man help a blind man across the street. It was quite nice.
Where?
It's on a Halsted, over in Greetown. I don't think the blind gentleman really knew his way about. Sounds weird, but there was a bus coming and the light was turning, and it could have gotten a little gruesome.
I'm a struggling artist, and I've been through a lot of ups and downs, bad customers, having to carry equipment in the freezing rain. But I've been blessed, like in the past 2 weeks, like people have really been, things have been happening nicely, but like I've always looked back on the past months, how like when I was super broke, and how people were constantly kind of helping me out no matter what. It's an interesting thing. So I try to like pay that forward the best I can, see somebody else struggling a little bit, and I try to throw in what I have.
I think that in the workplace, I'll give you two examples. In the workplace, there were some things that went wrong last week, and just kind of everyone within our department really like banded together, came together, did a huge collaborative effort. It was really, really great. I mean, everyone had their own jobs and responsibilities still to fulfill, and they just went ahead and took that time out to fix everything for everyone else. And then in my personal life, I met my parents this weekend. We meet halfway, and so they actually let me take their very, very nice car so that they could take my not as nice car to get my tires rotated and fixed and an oil change and everything else. So I thought it was really nice of my mom to do this.
My daughter was fishing this weekend with my daughter, and there was this family next to us, and they didn't catch any fish. And when they walked by, my daughter had asked them, she's 7 years old, and asked them like, well, how did you, we didn't catch anything. Well, she gave them one of her fish.
No, that's fine.
An act of kindness. Oh, my brother sent me an email and just said how much he really loved and missed me and how grateful he was to have me as a sister.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
nice. So that's probably nicer.
I saw someone give a homeless person their leftover food.
It's weird.
Just yesterday I was at the Shamrock Shuffle, and we were just walking back to the train afterwards, and saw someone do that outside a restaurant.
homeless person's reaction?
They were grateful. Sometimes you don't see that because they just want money, but a lot of other times that's actually what they need. They're just hungry, and that person happened to be interested in actually being fed, and was very happy to receive some food.
I saw a hit and run, and I you know, maybe wasn't so kind for the person who was responsible for the accident, but I got the person's driver's license, went out there, helped the guy who got hit. He was definitely injured, his head was split open, bleeding all over the place. But yeah, I think that was an act of kindness, you know, just going into that call of action for sure.
I do actually try to donate when I have cash on me to anyone, because I mean, whether they're lying or not, you know, it's just I believe in karma. So whether they spend it, whatever they spend it on, whether they choose to. So I mean, at the grocery store, I donated $3 to a man who said they needed to catch a train to the suburbs, just because you never know when you're gonna, you know, hard time yourself. So.
I have a friend that I always, well, a lot of friends that never need help. I'm always there to listen. I always listen. That's a very ancient art of listening. It's something that's been lost, I think. Listening is important. A lot of people need to talk, and a lot of people don't really listen. So that's my contribution, I guess. I try to listen to people and try to help them out, I guess. Yeah. Listening.
Earlier today, we had some people who were having trouble with reports, so I offered to come help them figure out how to make the reports do what they needed.
I had some people that I work with that gave me a hard time about the fact that I brought Girl Scout cookies in for someone else, and that they didn't, and I didn't think anything of it because, like, where I live, there's like Girl Scouts everywhere, you know. But in the city of Chicago, you don't see a lot of Girl Scouts, so they don't go door to door. You don't see them in places. But like to me, it's like very easily accessible if you want Girl Scout cookies. So they made a comment about it when I was out last time, so I brought them Girl Scout cookies. I think we might have thought I was joking that I was going to do it, but I actually brought them. They were very.
Can I tell you about this story? It wasn't recently, it was about 2 years ago, and it's something that, and this is why I always say to people, really be kind, and really tell people nice things about themselves, or if you've heard something nice. When I left school, which is obviously more than a few years ago now, but when I left school, I sent all the teachers that really meant something to me a letter, and about 6 years ago now, I was at my mum's and there was a knock at the door, and the man was there, an old guy, and my mum let him in, and he said, did she know where he could find me? And he walked in and he just looked like, I recognised that face, and it was my old German teacher, and he came in and he had a piece of paper in his hand, and it had my handwriting on, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's this? And apparently, a few years before, his wife got really ill with cancer, and she was like seriously ill. They didn't think she was going to live, and he had the teaching inspectors in school, like marking his teaching, and he said everything just got on top of him. And he really felt like just giving up, like literally. And he went to write a note to say goodbye, and he had my paper there and my letter, and he said that it just stopped him from doing whatever he was thinking about doing, because he realised how much he meant to people and the kids that he taught and the people in his life, and he said that he'd come back to repay his debt.
A good listener, just being available to people to talk to them if they're having a bad day or they just need a person to talk to and to listen. I think that I do a good job, or at least I try to do a good job of being available for those sorts of things.
Doing what you love to do in life, not feeling like you're forced to go and do anything that your family thinks you should do or your friends think you should do, and really just going for your goal, your whatever your big vision is. That's the simple good, and enjoying it all the way there.
Honestly, man, whatever makes you smile inside. I mean, I feel like good starts within, and then you project it out. So whether it is like your first question, whether it's nature, whether it's sports. But for me personally, it is family. You know, the care that we do, you know, no matter where you are in the world. I don't think it gets more simple than that. That's where you started, and that's probably where you're at with your family. So.
Treat people right. You know, it's just being respectful. Like if somebody gives you a look in the face, you give them a head nod back. It's just real simple, being honest with people. And, you know, I'm not in no way perfect because I'm human, but just try to do right by others, I guess. That's like the easiest way. I don't think I'm like being polite, you know, letting people cross and point, you know, stuff, little small things. The little things in
All
life.
little things,
Yeah, little
exactly.
things, yeah.
I think a lot of times it's just taking away a lot of the complexity of everyday life and just doing the things that are really, really elemental. They're really, really, I mean, obviously simple. Nothing really complicated, just good for the sake of good without having any motivations or other intentions or anything else. Just like trying to help people out.
I think the simple good is just, you know, doing something because it's the right thing to do and not because there's something in it for you or, you know, that people, you know, you're trying to get something out of it. It's just, you know, being good regardless of, you know, what you get out of it.
Good is just treating others or animals or that's that sounds like I'm a real activist or something. I'm not. But just treating people how you want to be treated yourself. I think that's so important. In England, people really respect their elders, and I think that's a really nice thing as well, to really respect the people that have learned before you and their advice. But just treating people like you want to be treated.
It just means thinking about the golden rule, which is basically treating others how you want to be treated. So just thinking about if you were in someone else's position, how you would feel, and trying to let that inform